Welcome to a liberating yoga class. Well, I just finished filming the class, and I can tell you that my spine feels a couple inches longer, so I hope that yours will too at the end of this class. Today we're going to be focusing on the chant Om Gum Ganapataye Namaha. This is the chant for Ganesha. And I wanted to focus on this chant today because this is a chant of freedom, of liberation, and this is freedom from this illusory separate self, this idea that we can somehow exist outside of our connectedness to everyone else. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be filming if someone didn't build this camera. I wouldn't have these clothes if someone didn't sew them. I wouldn't be in a space where I had any energy if I didn't have a farmer for my food. This chant, this idea of liberation is, may I please be liberated from this prison that my mind makes for me, that there's somehow that I could exist in solitude. So we are only human through other humans. We are only alive through other life. So I hope this class can serve as a reminder of the beauty of our interconnectedness and the freedom that we find when we can melt into it. Find a comfortable seated position, with the spine nice and long, allowing the eyes to softly shut. Taking a deep inhale in through the nose, get the spine a little bit longer. And then as you exhale, relax your shoulders and let the weight of all of your stresses melt down and release. Take a deep inhale in, feeling the whole belly, the whole diaphragm fill up. And then a long exhale out, pushing the belly back toward the spine, pushing out all that old stale air. One last time, deep inhale in. And then a long exhale out. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Bring the palms together, exhale them down in between the eyes. May your practice cultivate enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the mouth. May your practice cultivate enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the heart. May all of your practices cultivate an enlightened heart. We're going to simply bring our hands down to our knees. We're going to pick a direction and just start to roll the whole spine. And let the head be involved. The shoulders can be involved. And inhale as we come forward. Exhale as we head back. And then head in the other direction. We're going to take our legs out to the side. Nice and easy with our stretch at first this morning. I'm just going to rub right across our thighs, just waking up the muscles, give ourselves a little pat with a gentle fist, waking up our hamstrings, inside and outside, medial and lateral. And then let's move down the right leg. Gently patting on either side of our shin bone. And then coming through center and over to our left leg. Just beginning to wake up the body, waking up the circulation. And then pressing right in at our hip flexors, these muscles that allow us to sit up. We're going to press down and lengthen through the rest of our spine. A few deep breaths. And then we're going to come to the top of our mat in Baddha Konasana, so our soles of our feet are together. I'm going to get the soles of our feet as close into our seat as we can. You can grab under your toes, or you can grab your shins, whichever is more comfortable. And we're going to inhale and arch the spine up, gaze up, press the knees down, take a deep inhale in, roll the shoulders back, hold the breath at the top. And then we're going to exhale and round the spine. Try and get your chin to your belly button. Deep inhale in, arch, press the knees, open. Gaze way up, way back. Hold the breath. And exhale and round. And a few more times at the pace of your own breath. And then each time we inhale, I want you to inhale in and think of space, creating more space with the breath. And then as we exhale and we let go, you can say to yourself, free, creating freedom, liberation. Inhale, shining the heart up, pulling in space, creating more space in your diaphragm, in your lungs. And then exhale, feeling the expansiveness, that freedom, that openness. Be here for a little while, closing the eyes, moving with your breath, moving with space and free. On your next inhale, inhale in. Hold the breath at the top. Start to lean back. Start to roll back on your spine. Exhale. All the way back. Feet and hands straight up. Feet flexed. Hands flexed. A few deep breaths. Really pulling the hands back. Drop the shoulders down. Reach your heels high. Engage your quadriceps. Engage your triceps. We're engaging the tops of the legs, the backs of the arms. Keep the arms really straight, the legs really straight. And same deep breaths. Inhaling in space. Exhaling out freedom. Now we're going to point the toes and take the fingers straight up to the sky with those same deep breaths. But now on the inhale, each time we're going to get our whole body a little bit higher. So we'll take an inhale in. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders, trying to reach toward those toes. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, reach. Make sure everything's really straight. Inhale. Exhale. Few breaths here. Inhaling in space. Exhaling out freedom. One last breath. And this time, as you exhale, reach. And then send your feet up over your head. And we're going to come into plow. Bring the hands back underneath your low back. Plow's a little too much. You can just pull your knees into your chest. But we're really going to try and put a little bit of weight on our shoulders, especially where so many of us carry so much stress in between our shoulder blades. See if you can find right where that spot is. Take a few deep breaths into that spot of tension in between the shoulder blade. Breathing in space. Exhale free. Then lift the right leg up, using the hands as support on the low back, and keep the toes nice and flexed, the legs really straight, reaching through our heels. Same deep breaths. And then gently switch the legs. Noticing where your thoughts are, noticing where your focus is. Bringing it all back to that simple inhale, simple exhale. One last breath in plow. And then slowly rolling down, one vertebra at a time. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, right hand to your heart, left hand to your diaphragm, Supta Baddha Konasana. Feel your diaphragm rising and falling with every inhale and exhale with that left hand, and feeling your heartbeat with the right. The eyes closed, the body melting. Giving yourself a little moment here to breathe, to expand, to liberate yourself from that incessant stream of thoughts. that imprisonment of an illusory separate self. Feeling our connection to the floor, our connection to the earth, our connection to all those who have come before us, who built our house, who built our home, who farmed our food that we ate this morning or yesterday, gave us the energy that we could be here where we are now. Gratitude to our past selves for creating a life in which we have the time to practice, the time to breathe. Using our hands to help bring our knees together, keep the knees bent. And then we're going to press the heels down, take the fingers straight up into the sky, press the elbows down. And we're going to push ourselves up into a nice easy bridge. Really rolling up under the tops of those shoulders, pressing down with the elbows to get the hips a little bit higher. Make sure the fingers don't become inactive, but the whole arm is active. The legs are active and pressing. The toes are spread. See if you can relax the glutes and lift a little bit higher. Deep breaths. Inhale in space. Exhaling out freedom. Coming up onto the balls of the feet, gently rolling down. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, right hand to your heart, left hand to your diaphragm. Deep breaths. Let's come up into bridge one more time. Pressing the heels down, lift the hips up. This time let's interlace the hands, straighten the arms out, and try and bring your shoulder blades toward each other. Press up a little higher on those shoulders. And just notice the difference in the stretch on your shoulders. All the way through to the front of the chest. Reaching the crown of the head really long. Get that cervical spine to lengthen. Inhaling in space. Exhale free. The legs start to get tired. You can use your hands and come into a supported bridge. Otherwise, just one more breath. And then coming up to the balls of the feet, rolling down, one vertebra at a time. This time we're going to pull our knees up into our chest. And give ourselves a little hug. Deep, long breaths. Use your legs to press out a little more air. Use the strength of your arms. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Use your arms to press your legs into your diaphragm. And reach to the insides of your knees, outsides of your feet. Pull the knees down to either side of your chest. Pull your toes back. Try and reach your heels toward the ceiling as you counter that movement with your shoulders and arms and pull your knees toward the floor. Try and press your hips down into the earth and lengthen through the crown of the head and relax your shoulders away from your ears. And pulling the knees back into the chest. I'm going to roll up and down the spine a couple of times. You can head all the way back to plow, all the way to seated. Feeling those juices moving. Feeling your breath. Feeling your body waking up, your nervous system. And then on our next roll, we're going to roll all the way to our feet and into chair pose. A few deep breaths. Pulling the feet toward each other, reaching long through the spine. And we're going to place our hands down, send that left foot back. Coming up to our fingertips. Pulling our right heel back toward our left toes, that left hip forward toward our right heel, but then reaching the left heel back and away. Deep breaths. And right foot back to meet the left. Left foot comes forward. Fingertips. Deep breaths. Bring the thoughts back to liberation, to melting into the interconnectedness, the miracle of this reality. And simply breathing in space, exhaling, feeling that freedom. And float the left foot back, bring that right foot back forward. This time we're going to place the back knee down. If you have a cushion, a towel, a blanket, or something you'd like to put under that back knee, untuck the back toes. And bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. Feeling the length in the spine, pulling that right hip back. I'm going to walk the right foot a little farther out so we have a little more space. And then maybe coming down to our left forearm, seeing how that feels, maybe staying here, maybe down to the right forearm. Deep breaths, see if you can keep that knee in toward your shoulder. And maybe letting that knee fall out to the side on an exhale. And inhale, bring it back towards your shoulder. Coming back up, keep the left hand down on the ground and reach back with the right hand for that left foot. Gaze back toward that left foot. Take an inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to sink our hip forward. Really trying to open up the front of the left side. And the closer you pull that heel in towards your glute. And gently release that side. Right foot back to meet the left. Left foot comes forward. Placing that back knee down, untucking the toes. Both hands to the inside of the left leg. Feeling the length in the spine, pulling that left hip back. Down one forearm at a time. Staying here, or you can inhale and then exhale, let the knee fall out to the side. Inhale, bring that knee back. Exhale, let it fall out. Coming up to the hands. Right hand down. Left hand reaches back. Notice where your thoughts are, your focus, your breath. And gently release that side. Send that left foot back to meet the right. Head down through a vinyasa if you'd like. Or you can just hang out in a downward facing dog. Taking a little time, spread the fingers, spread the toes. Let the hips rock from one side to the other, crown of the head. Right to that spot in between your hands, engaging the triceps to straighten the arms, relaxing the heart towards your toes. You can either just place your knees right down on the ground, or if you have a towel or a blanket or something that you would like to put under your knees, hip distance apart. Start with a few cat and cows. Inhaling, drop the belly. Exhale, press it out. And we're going to tuck the toes. Come standing on our knees. Hands to our low back. Pressing the hips forward. And perhaps we just stay right here. Or if we'd like, reaching back, just the right hand, letting the head fall back. Using that left hand to give our SI joint a little massage, that spot in between the spinal cord and the pelvic bone, creating a little bit more space in our lumbar spine. Deep breaths wherever we are. And bring that right hand back to the low back. Take the left hand back to the left heel. Again, a little massage in that low, tight spot. Deep breaths. You can keep both hands at your hips, or perhaps both hands want to find their way back toward our heels. Lifting the chest, sending the hips forward. You can hold on to the heels with your fingers. Inhaling, feeling that spaciousness with each inhale. And then that relax, that release, the freedom in the space that we've created. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Maybe those toes feel like being untucked. Stopping anywhere along the way. And just as slowly as you came into it, hands back to the low back if they're not already there. Gently coming back up. Sitting down in between our heels. Letting our hands come out. Modified child's pose. Knees nice and wide. Create space for your chest. As you breathe and release, I want you to visualize all of the energy that we've been cultivating in our spine, moving up our spine, and then spilling out the crown of our head and down into the earth. And then coming up to seated. Sitting down in between our heels, if that is available to you. Otherwise, you can use a blanket or a cushion to sit on to prop yourself up a little bit higher, coming into hero's pose. So you can stay right here if you're already feeling that through our thighs. Maybe heading back, I want you to grab on to the bottoms of your feet and then just place your elbows down on the ground. Using our hands, start to press your legs away from you and see if you can feel the traction that's being created in your lumbar spine, that length in between each of those vertebrae. A few deep breaths. If you can, keep your hands in contact with your feet. Start to bring your knees in toward each other. See if you can lie all the way back, first placing your head down. See if you can keep that pressure on your feet. And if you can, straighten your arms all the way. And feel that length that you're creating through your entire spine. Careful with your knees. Back off a little bit if you need to. Listen to your body, listen to your breath. Releasing your hands. If you are all the way on the ground, I want you to try taking your palms up, reaching down toward your knees, spreading your toes, pressing your feet down. First, lift your head, use your core, lift yourself all the way up to seated. If you're seated, you can join us. We're going to take an inhale. Exhale back as far as you comfortably can. Inhale and exhale up. Inhale up. Exhale back. Maybe we just come back to here. Inhale once we're back. Exhale coming forward. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Use the core. One last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I'm going to bring our knees together, our toes together, and take, if you have a blanket, and put it actually underneath our feet now. And we're going to come into an ankle stretch, so be really careful here. I have chronic sprained ankles, and so spreading the toes, this is a really good way to help to strengthen the fronts of our ankles. I'm going to start to take the torso, lean it back, gently lifting the knees. Now maybe this is plenty, right here. And just working on the strength in the ankles. If you are prone to shin splints, like I am, this next modification may feel rather uncomfortable and pretty intense, so take it at your own pace. We're going to lift the knees more and more, and the torso is going to start to come forward using our fingertips. We're trying to take about 30% of our weight in our fingers right now. Now we're taking about 40% of the weight in our fingers, 50% of the weight in our fingers as we bring our knees toward our chest. Now 60% of the weight in the fingers. We're going to start to lift the hips. Most of the weight, 70-80%, is in the hands. We're going to gently, carefully straighten the legs onto the tops of our toes, stopping anywhere along the way. If you're able to straighten your legs all the way, you can start to take some of the weight out of your hands, moving nice and slow. Make sure your legs stay active and straight. And we are going to come back down to our knees and tuck our toes this time. And be sure that pinky toe is involved on both feet. And we're going to send our knees forward as far as this is comfortable to open up the bottoms of the feet through the toes. Leaning back, deep breaths. Placing the hands down, we're going to face the heels down, lift the hips, and come into a nice forward fold. Clasp the opposite elbows. Let the head be heavy. Rock a little from side to side. Feeling the length in the spine. Deep breaths. Now we're going to bring our heels together. Turn our toes out. Make sure that you're turning out from the hip and not from your knee or ankle. So when you bend your knees should be straight out over the toes. So don't turn them out too far. And then the legs straight. Start to pull your knees, your whole legs in toward each other. And then we're going to place our hands as high up on our inner thighs as we can get them. So you'll really feel here you can rotate your leg out. Make sure the rotation's happening from the hip, not anywhere near the knees. So with that pressure, pressing out, opening up those hips, coming into half forward fold, and you can really press your hips back and feel that lengthening through your lumbar spine. Deep breaths. Give it a little shake, a little movement. And then releasing down with the feet turned out. And again, straightening the legs as much as you can, trying to push the backs of your knees together. Grab onto the outsides of your ankles, the bottom of that lovely fibula, and reach the crown of the head down. Then we're going to take the feet hip distance apart, parallel the feet once again, bend into the knees, and just reach the fingertips out. A few deep breaths. Now you can stay right here, or start to lift the heels and come into a forced arch. Deep breaths. And then we are going to walk ourselves out to one last downward facing dog. Walking out any of that tension left in the legs. Then we will come down all the way to our backs. Feet together, knees out to the side. Right hand to your heart, left hand to your diaphragm. We are almost there. Notice if you feel a little more space, a little more freedom of movement, freedom of breath, freedom from your thoughts. And bringing the knees together, let's press the heels down, lift the hips up, coming back into bridge. You can stay right here. You might notice that your back feels a little bit more open, so you can take your hands under your shoulders and press yourself up for Urdhva. Few deep breaths. We're going to come up 3 times. So they can be 3 back bends of your choice. Go ahead and roll down from our first one. Pull our knees into our chest. A few deep breaths. As you're ready, prep yourself to press up one more time. And then perhaps this time, if you're feeling adventurous, you can come down one forearm at a time. Maybe even pressing the legs straight. Deep breaths. And then rolling down. We've got one more. Pulling the knees into your chest. Let the body relax. And then take that last bit of energy. Press yourself up one more time. Maybe coming down toward the forearms. And then this time, maybe walking the toes toward your fingertips. Deep breaths. When you're ready, slowly unwind. And spread yourself out for a well-deserved Savasana. Let your breath settle, your eyes close, your body melt. Feeling all of that space that you've created. With each breath, inhaling in space, exhaling out freedom. allowing all of that space that you've cultivated, all of that freedom of movement in your breath, in your body, start to come back, activating through your fingers and toes, reaching through the crown of the head. You can stay right where you are, or if you'd like to slowly find your way back to that same comfortable seated position in which we started our journey. Notice if your spine feels a little bit longer, if your breath is coming a little bit easier, and there's just a little more space, a little more freedom, a little more connection to everything around you. Inhale, reach the arms out and out. Bring the palms together, exhale them down in between the eyes. May your life be filled with enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the mouth. May you always have the patience for enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the heart. May your heart have the healing it requires to live an enlightened life. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, this exploration into freedom and liberation from this illusory separate self. I want to thank all of our donors at patreon.com/freeyoga who give a little something every month to make all these classes possible. You can join our donors if you would like, or if you'd like to see more free yoga, then you can donate at the link down below. And whether it's a dog barking, or an airplane going by, or a neighbor, or a frustration at work, or whatever it might be, I hope that spending this little bit of time and recognizing how all of these things are connected can hopefully next time let you laugh and smile at this strange, crazy, interconnected world in which we all find ourselves. So until next time, may you stay connected. May you stay in equanimity. May you find your peace.